Jai Shri Ram or Jai Constitution. Modi must make his choice clear. If the parliament is the temple of India's democracy, the central hall in the stately Sansad Bhavan is its Garbh Grah, its sanctum sanctorum. Since I am using the Hindu imagery of a temple, I shall mention who the main deity in this sacred place is. It is Janardhan, more specifically Janta Janardhan. A compound word in Sanskrit, Janehi Ardate iti Janardhan. Janardhan means one who is the lord of the people, their protector from distress and bestower of peace and progress. But in the age of democracy, Janardhan is none other than Janta, or we the people of India, the resounding words with which the preamble of our constitution begins. In what form or icon does the deity appear to us? Prime Minister Narendra Modi answered this question for us on 25th May 2019, when he addressed the newly elected MPs of the NDA, led by his own Bharatiya Janata Party. Before he began his speech, and it was indeed a commendable speech, Prime Minister Modi bowed his head in worshipful namaskar before a bedecked copy of the Constitution of India. The Constitution is supreme for us, Modi said. He likened India's 130 crore citizens to 130 crore gods and promised that his government would serve them with a similar spirit. To drive home his late conversion to the concept of an inclusive India, he affirmed, our mantra should be Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas. That means we shall take along all for the development of all and to gain the trust of all. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas was a promise Modi had made in 2014. How much of that promise was kept is a different matter. But Modi has felt the need to address a new promise this time, Sabka Vishwas, just to make sure his message reached those, mainly Indian Muslims, who do not so far trust him and his party. He emphasized, we have to win their trust. There will be no discrimination on the grounds of religion. Fine words. But clearly Modi's message has not reached many of his own party's legislators, as was evident in the Lok Sabha when the swearing-in process of the newly elected members started early this week. If Jai Constitution was the Prime Minister's pledge, many BJP MPs enthusiastically demonstrated that their allegiance is to Jai Shri Ram. With hubris generated by the 300 par mandate, BJP's tally in 2019 is 303 seats, they used the solemn occasion of swearing in for triumphalist sloganeering. Worse still, they weaponized the Jai Shri Ram slogan for heckling Muslim MPs like Asaduddin Owaisi, president of the All India Majlis-e-Ittehad Muslimin, AIMIM, and Shafiqur Rahman Bark of the Samajwadi Party, and also for taunting MPs belonging to the Trinamool Congress from West Bengal. Owaisi gave it back with his own slogan, Jai Bhim Allahu Akbar Jai Hind. He cannot be blamed for raising a religious slogan because he didn't start the battle. That the raising of religious slogans inside the parliament qualifies as unparliamentary conduct is one thing, but the BJP MP's wrongdoing goes as far beyond the limits of overzealous misdemeanor. Their offence is grave on 3 counts. First, it has to be seen for what it really is, as a rebuke to and a rejection of Modi's Sabka Vishwas pledge. These MPs are unmistakably telling their own leader, we do not need the wishes of Muslims to govern India, just as we did not need the votes of Muslims to get elected. Hasn't our party been able to form the government again with a larger majority without having a single Muslim MP in the Lok Sabha? We don't have to care for them unless they toe our line. Second, their way of using a Hindu religious slogan to jeer Muslim MPs also means a haughty repudiation of a key assurance of the Indian Constitution, namely, that all citizens of India are equal irrespective of their religious belief. In the eyes of the Constitution, an Owaisi or a Shafiqur Rahman Bark has exactly the same status as any Hindu member of the BJP, even though the latter may belong to the ruling party. But that's not how many BJP MPs or their supporters outside Parliament see it. There are already several instances of fanatical Hindu mobs forcing ordinary Muslims to chant Jai Shri Ram and beating them up if they refuse to do so. The third offence is against Hinduism itself. If the Ramayana has any one moral message, it is one of non-violence, love for all, and penitence for wrongdoing. In the excellent new book, Hinglaj Devi, Identity, Change and Solidification at a Hindu Temple in Pakistan by Hugen Schlafneckner, we read how legend has it that Lord Ram, along with Sita and Lakshman, went on a pilgrimage to Hinglaj Mata in Balochistan to atone for his sins of killing Ravan. For those who care to know, the very meaning of Ayodhya, the seat of Ram's kingdom, is that it is a place of no war. and Ram Rajya, which Mahatma Gandhi extolled so much, stands for an ideal government that ensures security, justice, and welfare for all. In themselves, there is nothing objectionable about either Jai Shri Ram, which means victory to Lord Ram, or Allahu Akbar, which means God is great. However, it is one of the great tragedies of the Indian civilization, also of contemporary Indian history, that the slogans Allahu Akbar, which have issued forth from the lips of fanatical Muslim invaders and temple breakers in the past, and Jai Shri Ram, which became the war cry of the Ayodhya movement, are being used as tools for communal polarization. Even though the shouting of slogans and counter-slogans somewhat tarnished the solemnity of the occasion of swearing in, there were two silver linings. 1. The newly elected Lok Sabha Speaker, Om Birla, said he would not allow a repeat of the chanting of religious slogans or the heckling that occurred in Parliament on Tuesday. The second was even more cheerworthy. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the Congress Party's newly elected leader in the Lok Sabha, has endeared himself to all sensible people in the country with his very first speech, delivered extempo. And what a short but sweet speech it was. Referring to the unfortunate episode in Parliament, he said, जब मुल्हा को मस्जिद में राम नजर आए, जब पुजारी को मंदिर में रहमान नजर आए, दुनिया की नजर बदल जाएगी जब इंसान को इंसान में इंसान नजर आए. Which means the eyes of the whole world will change when a Muslim sees Ram in his masjid, when a priest sees Allah in his temple, and when we human beings see a human being in every other human being. Let me add a third silver lining, which is still a half silver lining. Speaking to reporters outside the Parliament House on Monday, at the start of the first session of the 17th Lok Sabha, Prime Minister Modi made another welcome statement. When we come to Parliament, he said, we should forget Paksh or ruling party and Vipaksh or opposition. We should think about issues with a Nishpaksh or non-partisan spirit and work in the larger interests of the nation. Again, fine words. But if Modi wants the Parliament to function in a non-partisan manner, and if he wants Sabka Vishwas to be his motto for the second term, why hasn't he reprimanded his own MPs for shouting the Jai Shri Ram slogan, and especially for using it to boo and barack Muslim MPs? It is one thing for the Prime Minister to bow before the Constitution, the icon of Janta Janardhan, inside the Central Hall of Parliament, for the entire country to watch on TV screens. It is quite another to credibly reorient his government's and his party's conduct according to the lofty canons of the Constitution. Prime Minister Modi certainly commands the authority to pull up errant party colleagues. The question is, will he? Or will he again leave a troubling gap between words and deeds? The choice before him is simple. Jai Constitution or Jai Shri Ram. Modi's choice will make or mar India's and his own in the next 5 years.